It's time for a new 3DViewStation video. As usual, please visit our blog, website, and also review our release notes if you like to see more details about what has happened. Let's start with user interface. So major changes we have done in the new release is related to the UI. What you can see is if we walk through all the ribbons that we reorganized them. So we removed some ribbons, we have added 2 new ones, and we try to organize them in a way that you find all icons, all functions which belong to a specific topic all together in one ribbon. And we hope that you do not have to change the ribbon as often as in the past, and you find all the options which are required for these functions also as part of that ribbon. This should make 3DViewStation even more intuitive compared to what it has been in the past. Now let's have a closer look at the Create ribbon, one of the new ones. So everything, if you imagine you would like to create something, it's a coordinate system, a point, a free line, a sphere, a box, whatever, or a node. So whenever you would like to create something, you will find it in the Create ribbon. The expert ribbon is new, so for standard users, for sure, not the most important thing. We will come back to it later. We also added an online search possibility in the right top of the 3DViewStation user interface, and you will end up in our online help, in our help center. And clicking on a language change icon here in 3DViewStation will change the user interface language in real time, so there's no need anymore to restart 3DViewStation. Another very visible change is the working with views. So for people who have really a whole bunch of views, for instance, if you're working with work instructions and stuff like that, it's really helpful that you now can create own groups of views, and you can expand or collapse them, and you can create new ones inside the specific groups, or you can move them from one group to another. So here you see for different topics, a whole set of views, and you right-click in the pane, on the views pane, you can create a new group, and this will automatically create a view then inside, and in whatever group you're currently working in that group, the new view will be created, so you can drag and drop it into another group. Other very important topic is the GT import. So let's have a look on the old importer first. You see our standard background, what you can configure. You see typical PMI views, which are very, very small because they have been designed like that in the CAD system. So of course, if you double click in the views pane in 3DViewStation, they will do an optimum fit, but still not very helpful. If you look on the PMIs themselves and if we rotate the model, then we're not able to read them from the rear, or sometimes a little bit even more scrambled. If you would like to use the alternative GT importer, you should do some settings. Activating as to an intelligent fit for the zoom, and flipping the PMIs and markups. And if we then reload the same model, what we have loaded just a minute before, then you see the typical blue background of JT, and you see that the PMI views do a perfect fit. And if you rotate the model, then you still see all PMIs being readable. Now let's go to the big area of functional features. So in some of the windows, we have smaller icons to export certain metadata or text information. In the past as TXT or CSV or whatever, we added a few more file format doing that, like JSON, HTML, XML. If we go to the measure ribbon, you see all measurements organized there, similar to before. But here you can see some more dimensional measurement possibilities. Not very spectacular, you see point to point, but just showing that now we have a kind of a quick access toolbar in the right top corner of the scene, and this allows you to really much easier changing the behavior of whatever you would like to measure. So you can source and destination, so from to face to solid, or you change it to do it face to face or face to point or whatever. Yeah. Finally, we have put the drill hole measurement function also into the measure ribbon. A little bit more specific function is the ray measurement. So typically intent is you do in certain direction, you do a measurement and see how thick a part is. But you can, let's say, kind of abuse it during comparison. If you have two parts and you would like to measure simply, where does the first part, the ray ends if it leaves the first part and starts going to the second one. So you can change that behavior by checking or unchecking this box. Working with increments. So we're not a CAD system, but some people would like to have more than just interactively, dragging an object if you move it. Now you can apply an increment and then incrementally move or rotate whatever a part. Yeah, creating objects. So new is creating a 3D markup line, and there's also a so-called free line where you select the first and the second point on a geometry. And here the example of creating a 3D primitive like a cylinder. You first click on the pick point on the area you would like to create it, and then you create the geometry. Structure comparison is actually more than just comparing the structure. It's intended to do a more complex comparison between assemblies. So you take one assembly, compare it against the second one, and then under change type you see what kind of changes we can highlight, what you can compare. So attributes have changed, a color has changed, a part has been removed or added. Physical properties like area, volume might have changed, the PMI text might have changed, and so forth. So it's way more than just the red-green comparison we had in the past. Another example, the valve we are typically using for typical red-green comparison. Now, it's way too much information here. I'd simply remove file path and let's say appearance and redo everything. And then I see, a little bit better, let's say that information I might be interested in to see, even parts which have no geometries. Once more, working with increments, the sectioning function, similar behavior like the translation, like the move function, simply moving the cutting plane using increments. Physical properties get an own button means should also get an own window, an own pane. So some results are displayed in the properties window on the bottom left, but from here you can enter some data, for instance, compute the inertia, and then have all that information together in one spot. Yeah, expert tools. So if you need to translate, let's say, some geometries into a step file, which should be important to a CAD system, it's really important to see, which objects might cause problem. Because if it's tessellated data, like the red ones over here, they might cause huge step data, and maybe the target system is not even able to load them. Another expert function is kind of a quality check, in showing all solids which are not really close, which have some quality issues. Also important for experts to determine maybe whether something can be produced or not. The geometry tools is actually a kind of collection of various functions. It has been moved also into the expert ribbon, instance optimization, calculating number of triangles, to any kind of other manipulations. It's not something for daily use. Uh, for the friends of automation and playing with APIs and doing some programming, you're invited. Now you have a nice window over here where you can add API calls. The documentation is available online. Feel free to work with it. Yeah, 3D View Station is also a 2D view station, and we have spent quite some effort to speed up the rendering performance for complex 2D drawings, vector drawings. And in that case, all you need to do is you have to use a certain setting um, to be, and then a second example also, the load time will be maybe a little bit longer than before, but all the zooms and pans and so forth, it's really becoming very, very fast. Yeah, that's it for now. Happy working with 3D View Station. Talk to you soon.